Okay. So, ang next topic natin is the transfer taxes, donor's tax. So, sabi nga natin, di ba, may dalawang paraan dun sa gratuitous. Naalala mo, last meeting, di ba, sa ngayon, merong gratuitous, merong onerous, di ba, sa transfer. So, ngayon, nasa donors na tayo. Kanina, kung merong patay. Ito sa donation, not necessarily patay, di ba? Kasi donation to. Okay? So, donor's tax. Okay. So, pag-usapan natin, of course, the nature of donor's tax at i-define natin siya. So, donor's tax is a tax on a donation or gift and is imposed on the gratuitous transfer of property between two or more persons who are living at the time of the transfer. Kaya sabi ko kanina, walang patay or at least mangyayari siya kahit walang patay kasi while both of them are living at the time of the transfer. It shall apply whether the transfer is in trust or otherwise, whether the gift is direct or indirect, and whether the property is real or personal, tangible or intangible. So donation is an act of liberality whereby a person disposes gratuitously a thing or right in favor of another who accepts it. So, ang ibig po sabihin dito, hindi po siya nangangailangan ng kapalit. Hindi po siya onerous kasi it's an act of liberality of one person na gustong magbigay. Okay? In contrary to estate tax, donor's tax is imposed on the transfer of property during the lifetime of the donor. Okay? Also known as AKA donation inter vivos. Kanina, na-mention natin yung mortis causa. Ngayon, nandito na tayo sa inter vivos. Again, I don't have to explain what inter vivos is kasi na-explain na natin yan last meeting. So, recall that. Okay? So, remember din dito sa ating definition ng donation, dapat din tinanggap the person who accepts it para valid yung donation. Okay. So, donor's tax is again imposed, okay, on a gratuitous transfer of property while both the transferor and the transferee is still alive at the time of the transfer. Okay? So, again, magbibigay na naman ako ng proforma computation para i-follow nyo. Kung sakaling binigyan ka ng exercise, syempre, dapat na-follow natin to. So again, it's very easy lang din naman kung kukumputin natin ang donor's tax. Siyempre, magsisimula po yan sa gross gift. And then, kung merong mga exemptions na ibabawas natin ang exemptions and deductions and tax-exempt gift under train law kung meron. And this is also possible kung napakarami niyang pinamigay. Okay, a very good philanthropist maybe or talagang generous na tao. Okay. So, donor's tax rate in the advent of RA 10963 or the train law, the donor's tax for each calendar year shall be 6% computed based on the total gifts in excess of the 250,000 pesos exempt gift made during the calendar year. Oh, so, kung mamigay ka na ayaw mo ng tax within to 50,000 lang, di ba? Masyado kang mayaman, sabihin mo na lang na, pasensya na, 250 lang para walang tax, no? Oh. Ayan. So, that's our pro forma computation, of course. Meron tayong exemptions and deductions. Tapos, multiply natin sa tax rate na 6%. That's the donor's tax. Kung meron man allowed tax credit, we will also deduct that. Plus the taxes paid. That will be our donor's tax payable. Okay. So, what are the elements of taxable donation? One, capacity of the donor to transfer property. Dapat meron siyang kapasidad na mag-convey ng property, mag-transfer. And donative intent. Donative intent, ibig sabihin po, merong intensyon na mag-donate. Ha? Kaya yan sabihin mo sa mga nangutang sa'yo na hindi nagbayad. Pasensya na, kahit gustuhin mo mang maging donation yon, hindi po kasi donation yun eh. Walang donative intent yon ng ginawa natin. Hindi ko po siya intensyon na mag-donate, kaya walang donative intent. These are one of the elements na kailangan in a donation. Another one would be delivery either actually or constructively of the donated property to the donee. Merong actual delivery. And acceptance of the gift by the donee. Kaya ko sinabi kanina na dapat tanggapin kasi nga by the one who accepts it. Sabi kanina, 'di ba, dito? Donation under Article 75 of the New Civil Code. Donation is an act of liberality whereby one person disposes gratuitously a thing or right in favor of another who accepts it. Okay? So, isa yan sa mga elements natin na hinahanap. Okay? There is delivery and it is accepted. Okay. So, pakinote na lang, donation is perfected from the moment the donor knows of the acceptance of the donee. And another one, please note that donee must accept or consent to the donation during the lifetime of the donor and of the donee in case of donation inter vivos, and whereas in case of donation mortis causa, acceptance is made after donor's death because they partake of a will. Okay, so let's identify the classification of donors. So again, like doon sa estate, ngayon sa donation or sa donor's tax, again, ika-classify na naman natin sila. So meron tayong classification, resident and citizens. So yung resident citizen, non-resident citizen, and resident alien under one classification, and then two resident alien. Sa resident alien, of course, we also have to note with reciprocity or without reciprocity. I hope naaalala pa natin yung discussion natin on reciprocity. 'Di ba? Last meeting, we've actually discussed reciprocity. So, we have to discuss the gross gift. Gross gift would be the value of the property or right donated subject to donor's tax before any deduction. Okay. So, regalo. So, ano yon? Transfer subject to donor's tax would be those direct gifts. Gift through creation of a trust. Okay, nag-create siya ng trust, tapos ang beneficiary is another person as a gift. Condonation of debt. Pinatawad yung utang. Repudiation of inheritance in favor of identified heirs. Ito yung mga taong ayaw niya yung mana. Diba? Repudiation of inheritance in favor of identified heirs. Okay? Renunciation by the surviving spouse of his or her share in the conjugal partnership of or absolute community of property, no? After the dissolution of the marriage. Yung, sige na, okay lang sa akin, wag nyo nang i-ano, yung share ko. I'm okay. Diba? Or, transfer of properties other than real properties classified as capital asset for insufficient consideration. Ang sabi ng batas, kung ang consideration is insufficient nung transfer, kulang ang pinambayad, sufficient, insufficient, possible na donation yon. Kaya may donor's tax dapat yon. Okay? So, we have yung ito sa transfer with insufficient consideration, yung fair market value of the property at the time of sale, bawas mo yung magkano lang siya binenta, ibig sabihin yung excess of the selling price ng fair market value, yun yung sinasabi ng batas na donation, yung transfer for insufficient consideration. Ibig sabihin, kung ang value ng property na binenta is supposed to be 100 million, pero doon sa pagbayad, ang binayad lang is only 500,000. O, 'di ba? So meaning 99,500,000 ang taxable gift doon. May donor's tax dapat 'yon. Okay? It cannot partake of the essence of a contract of sale kasi it's a transfer for insufficient consideration at possible na ito tax siya for donor's tax. Okay? So, there are also gifts from common property. The gift from common property is taxable 1/2 to each donor spouse. So, husband and wife are considered as separate and distinct taxpayers for purposes of donor's tax. However, if what was donated is a conjugal or community property and only the husband signed the deed of donation, there is only one donor for donor's tax purposes, without prejudice to the right of the wife to question the validity of the donation without her consent pursuant to the pertinent provisions of the Civil Code of the Philippines and the Family Code of the Philippines. Kasi kapag conjugal or community property po yan, hindi po basta-basta namimigay ng property na galing sa community property or conjugal property. Dapat both ang mag-asawa ay nag-agree na magdo-donate sila. Kung hindi po nag-agree yung dalawa, pwede pong i-question yung donation ni husband kasi bakit dinodonate mo o binamimigay mo ang mga ari-arian na pagmamay-ari nating dalawa. Okay? Tandaan lang po yan. Okay? Next, donation between husband and wife during the marriage. The general rule is the gift is not taxable as it is declared void by law. Hindi po allowed. Except, ang pwede lang pong i-allow is moderate gifts between the spouses. Okay? Moderate gifts in cases of family occasion. Pwede, di ba? Magbigay ka ng siguro something, a jewelry, di ba? Moderate gifts. So, yung pagiging moderate nun is magdedepende din kung gaano kayo kayaman, di ba? O, baka yung 1 million sa'yo, moderate lang. Pero sa iba, napakalaking amount na yon, di ba? O, kasi kung titingnan mo, pag siguro, ang ating butihing senador at presidential Manny Pacquiao, kung magregalo siguro siya ng Hermes na bag na worth 1.5 million kay Jinky Pacquiao, moderate sa kanya yon kasi bilyonaryo naman siya. Pero kung 1.5 million na value of a property, tapos ang total asset mo lang ay 5 million, moderate pa ba yon? Kaya sinasabi ko kanina, yung moderate gift is subjective and it depends on the situation and circumstances of the taxpayer. Okay? So, meron po yung determination. Okay. So, bago po natin i-proceed, mag-a-assign po ako sa inyo again ng exercise. Tanggalin ko muna yan. Para check lang natin kung tayo ay nakinig kanina. Bibigyan ko kayo ng very simple exercise on donation or donor's tax. Sige nga. So, I will now assign to you this one. I will give you just 5 minutes. So, it's 4:52. I will give you 5 minutes to do this. You will have until 4:57 to do this. Or 4:58 na kasi 4:50. Kahit yun ko ng 4:59. Sige, assign ko na ngayon for the donor's tax. Assigned. Answer quickly and submit.